I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. A Benel man is arrested over the weekend after trying but failing to outsmart authorities who were searching for him. John Arking reports.
40-year-old Jesse Pack had an active warrant from Volusia County for kidnapping and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Deputies with the Flagler County Sheriff's Office went to his residence Sunday night, according to Sheriff Rick Staley.
We were initially told that he was not home, but the owner gave us permission to search his house, and while he thought he had a good hiding spot, he did not outsmart our deputies. He was inside a cabinet, but he wanted to be comfortable, so he even took a pillow. But he was arrested without incident. He was found in possession of drug paraphernalia.
In addition to the Volusia County warrant, Pack was also charged with resisting arrest without violence and possession of drug paraphernalia by Flagler deputies. He's awaiting extradition to Volusia County. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Erking.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport. Save time, money, and stress. The Daytona Beach International Airport. Sunwing Airlines nonstop to Toronto. And starting in May, nonstop flights to New York City via American Airlines.
Who will be Flagler County's next interim manager? That's what the Flagler County Commission is trying to figure out now that Craig Coffey is gone, and the next in line also tendered her resignation. Sally Sherman gave her resignation effective January 31st, along with HR Director Joe Mayer. Coffey, on his way out, gave his powers to Sherman without giving her the interim title. But Commissioner Charlie Erickson compared county government's current path to Apollo 13 and says they need to take certain steps urgently.
I think we need to immediately convince Sally and Joe to remain in their positions for at least another 3 to 6 months, as it is critical to keep the knowledge inside. We need to communicate with our staff frequently to prevent departures that will continue. Don't keep them in the dark over our thoughts and plans. Some will leave anyway, but we cannot afford any more vacancies.
Commission Chairman Donald O'Brien stepped up to coordinate a search for an interim manager along with fellow commissioners Greg Hansen and Dave Sullivan. The commission meets again January 23rd at 3 p.m.
Is it a task force or a working group that's working on a solution to the Sheriff's Operations Center?
Flagler County Commissioners say several ad hoc groups have been investigating the so-called sick building. County Attorney Al Hadid told commissioners that if they got involved with a task force, they'd have to formalize the work by advertising meetings, allowing public comment, and basically running it like a legal meeting. Hadid said that if the commissioners worked with a working group, it would be less formal. Commissioners Vice Chair David Sullivan volunteered to be a part of the working group looking at finances involved in how to fix the building. Commissioner Joe Mullins volunteered to be the alternate looking into the construction of the building. Commissioners said they would continue their involvement into how things were progressing at the Sheriff's Operations Center, saying that it should not take this long to get the Sheriff's staff back into its offices. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Flagler County's longest-serving elected official gets 3 more years in office. Benel Mayor Kathleen Robinson has once again been reelected after running unopposed. The window to file for candidacy for the March election closed Friday. Robinson has been on the Benel City Commission since her appointment in 1994, winning every election she's ever run in, usually without opposition. She says she feels blessed and is excited to work with Dr. Alvin Jackson, the city manager who was appointed late last year. When Robinson takes her oath of office, she may be working with a new city commission. Commissioner John Soule resigned in late November after moving from Benel as he prepares to run for a county commission seat. Albert Tucker, a Benel landowner who's been on the commission since 2008, chose not to run for re-election. Commissioner Bill Baxley's seat is also up, but he is running for re-election, though not without a challenge. Beulah McClendon Johnson, who's retired, and Donald Nobles, who owns Hot Diggity Dogs in Benel and works as an equipment operator for Flagler County government, are vying for the open seats. The top 2 vote-getters will be seated. Soule's seat will be filled via a special election also in March. Running for that seat, candidates Daisy Henry, a former city commissioner and pastor, as well as Realtor and Benel Planning and Zoning Board member Jan Rieger, who unsuccessfully ran for the commission in 2016, and Tina Marie Schultz, a physical therapist in Benel. Palm Coast's new community center gets a top honor from the Florida Recreation and Park Association. Here's Tony Magoo with more.
Brittany McDermott, who is Parks and Recreation Supervisor of Marketing for the Palm Coast Parks and Rec Department. So, Brittany, tell us all about FRPA.
So the FRPA is an organization that kind of helps out all of the Parks and Rec agencies in the state of Florida. And so they do a yearly facility showcase in their winter journal. So it's a publication they put out, and the winter edition is always this facility showcase.
You guys went under the microscope with them this year for the showcase.
So they like to look at if it was a contribution to community health and building, the economic impact. Basically, how is your facility really impacting the community and sort of improving it?
We were honored that the new home for Parks and Rec was selected for the showcase, said Alex Boyer, who's director of Palm Coast Parks and Recreation.
We were one of the selected winners.
For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.